What's going on, guys? It's Will. This morning, we crushed it with Rigetti stock right at market open. This quantum computer company is very profitable. Now, Rigetti made a sharp move, and in StockMate, we caught it perfectly at market open. So our strategy kind of delivered the results we were looking for. And this is something that maybe they're not the most financially sound company, but the future is looking good for them. And I'm going to go over a full analysis today. Let's get into it. So, Rigetti stock, we saw it go up to about $12.78 earlier. That was on Friday. No, that was this morning. Oh my gosh. This morning it went up to 12.73 before selling off. And when we traded it today, if I look at our order history, we had bought, what was that? 1067, sold 1092. So this morning we got in right here, 1067 on the morning dip after market open, and we sold basically, yeah, right where a little bit higher than where it is now, right about $11. And so now we see it sell off. There's a few things on the technical side that look really good. The first thing is that we've seen this consistent uptrend. We saw it really spike today, but this is something that's healthy. See this pullback? If we just saw it all the way up to here right now, it would look a little overextended. That's why we didn't buy right at market open, right? We waited for that dip and then we got in. Now, this long-term play or the near term, it looks more promising. You could see that this trend is starting to hold this new level. And as it's holding above that EMA or that SMA, that is a good sign. Now, when we zoom out even further, though, it looks a little overextended. That's on the technicals. There's some news today that might change your mind about this and that it may even continue up further. But, when you just look at how we've played Rigetti, basically it has established resistance, which then act as support. You see there's resistance, it acted as support right here. And that's been the name of the game with this uptrend. We saw that. And then we saw this resistance right here, this resistance level, then acted as support. Then we saw this resistance, right? These two resistance levels that then acted as support. Now we did see it sell off here, but now we saw it push up to this previous high right here. You see that resistance, and now it's holding this previous resistance right here. And so that's a really good sign, because if it's holding this level, then we could see it hold its uptrend. But then on the other hand, we also see that like there's a support right here. And then also just on the nearer term, there's a resistance, and we did see it get rejected at the same point that it got rejected on the 18th, right? Back on Thursday, I believe it was. And so now we see it got rejected again today at the same price point. To say it'll consolidate all the way down here again, that would be kind of maybe a little more bearish than what we would expect. The trend could continue, with the exception of this drop right here. We see that the technicals look pretty good. They look like an uptrend that is consistent, right? If I don't include this terrifying drop, this is quite the continuation, right? And we can see that. So maybe pull back a little bit more. That's why we sold it today around when it was 17%. Our portfolio in total was up about 14.8%. We made a killing today at market open, including our AMD calls, which are crushing it. We bought it like $7.65 on AMDL. It's already up to over $8, which is awesome, and actually anticipating it to go to 12. So technicals look good. Could see a little bit more of a pullback, but when we look at the previous highs of close to $13 and it's at around $11, that technical, it's a little bit of a standing by. I would wait for a little bit more of a pullback. You see this tremendous volatility that we could see it sell back down before continuing up, even to this previous level here where it got rejected. Could be that stronger support, but really we've seen a pretty good support level right here. So we'll see. It's holding right here at this previous resistance. So technicals look like a hold. They look like we could see what's going on in the near future, and I'll monitor it closely. Now, when we get into the news side, right, there's three ways that we break down a stock. We look at the news, we look at the chart or the technical analysis, which is good to look at, but we also look at the market. Now, we know we're in the right market because we're in quantum computing here going into 2025. There's some talk about this quantum computer replacing what could be some GPUs. That is amazing talk to be hearing. That means we're seeing competition with, for example, NVIDIA. This is a very small company. Now, before we get into the financials of the company, you can see this is Rigetti's 84 qubit Anka 3 system. And there is quite a lot of talk here that's kind of hard to go through if you're not familiar, right? So Berkeley, California, December 23rd, today, Rigetti Computing, a pioneer in full stack quantum classical computing, announced today the public launch of its 84 qubit Anka 3 system. It's the newest flagship quantum computer featuring an extensive hardware redesign that enables superior performance. Rigetti also celebrates major 2-qubit gate fidelity milestones with Anka 3, successfully having error rates of 2024 to achieve a median 99% I-swap gate fidelity. You guys understand this? Okay, I'm not super familiar. I'd love to get on this page with you guys to be able to explain these technicals better. We'll throw it through ChatGPT to get a better understanding. But the main thing with all this is that you might want to read this part of the article. It says, Rigetti Quantum Cloud Services will be coming to Amazon brackets and Microsoft Azure in the first quarter of 2025. The faster, median 56 nanoseconds, more specialized FSIM gates are useful for specific algorithms such as random circuit sampling, as recently demonstrated on Google's Willow system. Guys, this is something that they're saying is basically saying this is competing with Google's Willow system, and Amazon and Microsoft are looking forward to using this. Guys, that's pretty insane. So really, really, like, big tech, what's the number one problem with these quantum computing companies? Do they have a business that they can plug in this type of intelligence into? And a lot of times, you have these companies, and they create these great computers, but hey, they need to be able to plug it into an intelligent business that has a business model that makes money for the actual quantum computing company to make money. And that's like one of the biggest hurdles. But now we're sitting here with Rigetti. They're literally going to be supplying resources for Amazon and Microsoft. That's pretty amazing. And these are Amazon and Microsoft's AI large language models. So that's tremendous to hear, guys. That is tremendous to hear. So that's really, really good news for Rigetti. So news looks really good. The analysis looks good. So that's the first and second piece of what we look for in a stock. What's the third piece, guys? We look at the financials, right? And so just to kind of go over the financials here on Rigetti, they weren't the most impressive. And I was a little disappointed. But at the end of the day, this is what we're doing. Two things. We're buying what could be, okay? So the revenue down 23% year over year, but their net income went up 33%. So all this looks mediocre. Cost of revenue up 40%. They've been missing their earnings and their revenue per share. So kind of mediocre, right? You're buying what could be. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, again, these companies aren't expected to make a tremendous amount of money until they can plug into profitable business models that this tech can really make an impact, and that they're going to be compensated for their quantum computers. And guys, we could probably say that their next quarter could be the biggest quarter ever, especially if they're going to be working closely with Microsoft and what was the other company? Was it Microsoft and Amazon? Right, so that's huge. So these financials might not be this bad. They beat earnings back in 2023 of last year, and they just missed earnings. But hey, we might see them beat earnings again. All right, we might see a repeat of last year, and it could be due to that Amazon and Microsoft deal. Okay, so financials look good. News looks great. I've definitely seen a little bit of an overextension on the chart a little bit, but if you don't compare this big drop here and you keep this trend that it was holding, it actually looks healthy in that it pulled back, and that to see it in the near future push up to $13, $15 wouldn't be ironic at all. In fact, we could see it go to $20 pretty quickly with this type of volatility. But what goes up quickly can also go down quickly. So if you're in the near term, shorter term trades, I want you to be very cautious because of that. And so if you're holding longer term and you see these deals happening and you like what you see and you're playing what could be, or I know some of you guys, there's a bunch of comments that I'd love to go through. I'll actually, link them in the next video on Rigetti. Dozens or hundreds of comments from you guys that some of you guys got in here around like $4 a share or earlier, which is insane, which is really great. Like, all power to you guys. And if a lot of you are saying that you're holding for the future and seeing $20 in hindsight, so you already saw that, now you're looking forward to it. So those three things look good. Financials, all the three key points in the analysis are checking out. I traded it this morning. We made a really nice return, and I played some of the momentum. It sold off from what was 11.50 down to now what is 11.25. But yeah, it's really, really looking pretty interesting. When you look at it with this chart that I'm looking at here in the near term, it looks like it's got a lot of room to run, right? I mean, you could see that support, and it almost looks like it might be kind of continuing, this uptrend, which would be, much higher than probably $13. And you gotta look at that. I mean, wow. When do you get to invest in these small cap, just starting to get traction, quantum computer AI companies, guys? What a beautiful time we are in. So thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you all. If you want more updates on Rigetti, do make sure to subscribe. And just a friendly reminder, if you guys want to watch me trade live, or if you want our AI stock trading system, there's a free AI stock trading system training. The first link in the description that I just launched, and it's only available for a week if you want to see that. And then if you want to get analysis and work in our community of stock mates, you can get started for just $1 a day to crush the first quarter in January. Let's get into it, guys. Check out that second and first link down below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button, and do consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.